Good day, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This presentation is intended for CONAPLIN 14. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ade Mulyanah. I am from Balai Bahasa Provinsi Jawa Barat. And the paper entitled The Analysis of Reading Literacy Test in the Minimum Competency Assessment or AKM. Here we go with the background. The new Indonesian Minister of Education and Culture, Nadiem Makarim, recently made headline when he announced his controversial for education policy program, then so-called Merdeka Belajar or Freedoms of Learning. One of the policy is the termination of national exam in 2020. The assessment of determination competency or AKM and super character, including literacy, numeracy, and character education strengthening, will replace the national exam. Then what is the government claim to replace the national exams, UN? First, the national exam is just to emphasize memorizing, but not critical thinking. Second, the national exam is intended to measure individual achievement. And the third is national exam is intended to measure student cognition, not the overall character of the student. That's a claim. And what the goal of freedom of learning actually? There are two. First, to liberate education institution. Second, to encourage children to be innovative and promote creative thinking. And the paper based on 3 research questions. First, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the AKM? The second is what is the component of reading literacy test in the AKM? And the third, it was the assessment instrument of reading literacy test in the AKM. That's the research question. And also it is followed by the objective of the study. First, to describe the advantages and disadvantages of the AKM. The second is to formulate the content of reading literacy in the AKM. And number 3 is to illustrate the assessment instruments of reading literacy in the AKM. And what is theoretical foundation in this paper or in this research? It started by the implementation of the AKM. The AKM as the adoption of Pisa will assess student abilities in the field of numeracy and literacy, not subject-based as in the previous exam. Then so what is freedoms of learning? Freedoms of learning policy initiated by Minister Education and Culture, Research Technology Nadiem Makarim consists of 4 points. First, the National Standard School Examination is abolished. Every school can conduct its assessment. Second, the national examination UN will be replaced with the Minimum Competency Assessment or AKM and the character survey. And the third, the 3 component replace 13 component in the Learning Implementation Plan or RPP. And the fourth is the new student admission regulation or PPDB is proportionally oriented. It is taken by, from Kusumaryono 2020. Then what is the goal of the student skill in the AKM? First, having critical thinking and problem solving. Second, having creativity. The third, having communication skill. Fourth is working collaboratively, that students can work together. And number 5 is building understanding and creativity, working together, solving problem, and working by utilizing ICT, information and communication skill, communication technology. It's taken from Riodan and Rosas 2002. Here we go with the theory of assessment. Black and William 2010 defined assessment as activities carried out by teachers and students to obtain information. The assessment has considerable potential in improving learning. And number 2 is Lees and Gendis 2003. Describe assessment is an effort to collect some information to obtain psychological profile of the student. Here we go with the methodology. The methodology, of course, will be very important in this study. First, the method using qualitative and literature study. The second is data source taken from law of the Government Republic of Indonesia, government regulation, the official website of Ministry of Education and Culture. Research and Technology, ya, taken from Puspendik and Pusmenjar, and also supported by other source from Pisa 2006 and 2008. Why 2006? Because 2006 is the first Pisa program applied, and also relevant journal and textbook. This is the theory taken from Sugiono 2015. That the literature study is supposed to be taken from the related literature. Then how is the data analysis? The data analysis by comparing data of matter relating to the AKM policy, especially reading literacy. The AKM set test from Pusmenjar, Ministry of Education and Culture, Research Technology with the AKM theory studies in journal and government regulation or applicable law. Since the study, there are three set questions, and also there are three finding and discussion. First, advantages and disadvantages of AKM. There are five things found in the AKM and also from other system of assessment. If we take a look here, that the advantage of AKM contains emphasis on first character survey literacy related to cooperation, diversity, bullying, and learning. Also related to reading literacy, numeric literacy, and also emphasize on mastery of competency. But in other case, although might be this is could be the benefit or the excellence of AKM, but also in the AKM is not exclude the broad curriculum coverage, such as there is not English subject, there is not other thing like science or anything. In the AKM, emphasize of mastery of competency, but might be missing something. Could be still important is about memorizing, although it is not very significant, but memorizing could be some point of disadvantage. That my point of view. AKM is intended to measure student critical thinking as Indonesian and global citizen. But AKM also missed the point about individual achievement, although it is not very significant, but might be individual achievement still considered as important. The government conduct the AKM in the middle of teaching period in grade 5, 8, and 11 to trace the improvement. But AKM is not intended to measure student cognition competency. And the fourth is AKM referred to at international level, Pisa and TIMSS, but AKM is not conducted at the end of schooling period, like year 9 or year 12. And AKM test just used in Bahasa Indonesia. So might be could be disadvantage that not including English test in AKM. That's advantages and disadvantages. And here we go, the second finding and discussion. About the component of the reading test, reading literacy, there are three content of the AKM, the cognitive process, the context, and the theme. We can take a look the component of reading literacy test. First, AKM consists of two types of text. First, it is called information text, as related to understanding certain information from picture, from graphic, from any kind of text, from information, from magazine, for newspaper, or even in the textbook. And also there is kind of text related to literary text. There also text related to fiction, like short story, novel, poem, poetry, or any kind of that. Here is the example of literary text, Raminta Kunjung Pulang, taken from grade 8. And in the AKM text also, the text is designed by given the understanding, the question related to understanding, like how they can understand the text, from pictures, from graphic, from anything. And Besides, the student have to understand certain kind of information. AKM also given the question related to how they applied the text in kind of understanding. For example, not only understand the text, but how they apply by saying certain thing like, manakah koreksi yang benar? To the affective question. And in AKM, not only understanding and also applying, but the students should be able to find reasoning and making judging or decision by giving the idea by saying agree or disagree of certain kind of problem in the question. And beside giving agree or disagree of certain problem, they also should be able to give or to perform the reason by giving short answer. And in information text, yeah, beside giving like the sequence of text, also the text equipped by picture and also by information needed based on the text. For example, the text about the benefit of eating fish or manfaat makan ikan, and there is a picture of fish, and also there is the information given related to the benefit of fish. And the students should be able to give retrieving information by finding more than one answers. The question is from grade 8. And number 3 is assessment instrument of the AKM. There are 3. First, that in the AKM, usually the question given stimulus by giving picture, graphic, and other illustration. This is the type of question from AKM test grade 11 about bahaya bangun tidur langsung main HP. It is not only giving the information, but student also giving the picture. Might be eye-catching, interesting, or thing related to stimuli, how to get, the idea of the text can be understood by a student. And the type of assessment, if in the national examination, the question only in the multiple choice, one question with one answer, but in AKM, multiple choice can be answered more than one answer, or we call the complex, the complex question. And also there will be the question related to agree or disagree, and the students should be able to give the answer by giving short reason or kind of short essay of certain topic. The assessment also equipped by using true or false question and matching, like how they can retype the information by saying true statement or false statement, and also matching the statement like, okay, the idea is coming from the text or not. That's the type of question. In the AKM, also consider language level. You can see here, the question for grade 8 and question for grade 5 have different structure. In grade 8, the structure is more complex. The choice of word is more various, is different from the grade 5. Although the text is written in Bahasa Indonesia, but the complexity of structure or the language level is really considered. Conclusion. Based on the research question, there are 3 research questions, and also I performed 3 conclusions. First, there are some advantages and disadvantages reading literacy text in the AKM. Second, the AKM set test component related to content of AKM, cognitive process, the context including personal, social culture, and scientific theme is related to the topic. And the assessment instrument, there are 3. First, giving stimulus like giving educative, inspiring, updated, eye-catching text or picture. Second is type of assessment, using in the very various assessment like multiple choice, matching, short answer, open essay, and true and false. And the text, although written in Bahasa Indonesia, that is considered but linguistic competent by considering language level. That's about my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, and good day.